Welcome to the Executive's View, the sports podcast where the stakes are high and the debates are fierce. Please welcome your host, Aaron Sirius Simmons, alongside co-host Barry DeVille Jordan. Each week, we bring you into the boardroom where the elite minds of sports converge. From the gridiron strategies to the business behind the ball, we tackle the hard-hitting questions and give you an insider's perspective. So pull up a chair and join us at the table where champions are made and legends are born. This is the Executive's View. Let's get down to business.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Executive's View. We are the view from on top, man. You could be anywhere in the world here on a Tuesday evening, but you're here with the executives, and I do appreciate that, man. Before we get started, as I always say, if you see the show, share the show, man. We are all over the place. We on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Spotify, and on YouTube, man. So if you like the content that we bring to you guys on a weekly basis, man, give us a follow, interact with us, jump into our audience, and just comment with us, kick it with us, man. You guys know how to do this by myself, man. I got a slew of brothers that are ready to chop it up and talk about all things sports, man. First of all, my co-host, Barry the Villain Jordan's in the building with his red headphones. What's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
Villain. Feel me with no hands, my people. Feel me. You gotta feel me. Don't be jealous, man. Don't be jealous of my red headphones, all right? Not a lot of people can pull it off. Like, I was at work today. I had a yellow college shirt, and everybody wanted to say I was shining. Yeah, I'm a son because I shine like one. You know what I'm saying? You can't feel me. You know what I'm saying? You can't pull it off like the villain can. We here. Let's go, baby.
You know what? He always comes in with an interest, man. Shout out to the homie for coming through, man. Larry's in the building, a little bit under the weather, man. We're gonna try to hold it up for him. Larry, what's going on, my guy? How we doing this evening, sir?
Yeah, bro. I'm a little under the weather, but we gonna do this thing, man. I'm gonna keep rocking with y'all boys, and we gonna knock it out tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna try to keep it PG with this guy, man. There's been a lot going on between he and I as far as a certain receiver, but we'll keep that PG today. We'll keep that little PG today since my man's
we can keep it PG. We can keep it 100. We can keep it 100.
I've been trying to be nice to you, man. Last week I heated, man. I'm trying to be nice. My mom said, Aaron, you got on that show and you went stupid. I was like, yo, mom, I tried. I tried to be good.
Let's just keep it 100, bro. We good.
Say less.
It's all love.
Say what?
It's all love, man. It's all love.
Yeah, man. You know what they say, man. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one.
That's a true statement, man. Coach Lazar's in the building. What's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, guys. I just want to get ahead of something here. Look. Me and Ryan Poles are friends. We're old friends. We go way back. Look, I was in Chicago. There all these rumors about me leaving Purdue for the Bears job. Like I don't know where this came from. We were just two friends having lunch, catching up. So other than that, I mean, glad to be here with you guys tonight. It's just, I don't know. I just wanted to get ahead of it. I know a lot of people are watching. A lot of people back in West Lafayette are watching. It's just, look, two old friends catching up, having dinner. It's just we're okay. We're just having a meal. There were no talk. We rarely talk football. So there.
He doesn't have like shoes on and pulling up the bottom of his foot, like pointing to it, like, come home.
What it was, he wrote some numbers on a napkin and slid it to you across the table.
That's what it was. He showed you a text message, you know what I'm saying? On an encrypted file, man. Come on now, dog. But let's keep it a beam, man. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. I wanted to get something out the way really quickly, and then we'll dive into a bunch of other stuff that's going on around the world of sports. It looks like Michigan and Jim Harbaugh have come to Jesus moment, and Jim Harbaugh is not going to attend the opener. I believe it's against Fresno State, if I remember correctly. Yes, against Fresno State on August the 31st, on a couple of weeks, where they were going to do a massive celebration, kind of unveil the new championship banner. I, for one, was shocked when it became public that Harbaugh was picked and asked to be an honorary captain and even accepted the position to be an honorary captain for that game based off of the way he left. Come to find out that afterwards, there's been some sanctions based off of some COVID-19 recruiting violations. And so Harbaugh, in my opinion, to just leave Michigan all the way alone at this point. I feel bad for Shamar Moore, who now has to carry this going forward. But I wanted to give you gentlemen an opportunity to talk a little bit about it at the outskirts of today's show. Were you as shocked as I was when it became public a couple weeks ago that Harbaugh was going to be an honorary captain in celebration of the championship run, or did you expect nothing less from Harbaugh? Villain, I'll start with you first, my guy.
I mean, I was surprised that they had the balls to do that after, he kind of was escorted to the NFL and to the Chargers job. Obviously, the NCAA came after him pretty hard, levied up some sanctions against him personally. It's like, hey, if you want to hire this guy, he has like a 5-year wait period. He has to be suspended for 5 years and all that stuff. Like, it was like a crazy list, right? You had to show cause of why you want to hire him, and he's a 5-year waiting period and all this stuff. And for him after that, just it's just weird, right? I understand you want to give him respect. Like, that's the first championship they had since what, 80 something? I don't even know.
96, 95, 97, something like
95?
that.
I thought it was 88. I could have my years mixed up. I apologize. Thank you, Coach. Coach knows because that's his rival, right?
That's his rival right there.
His in-division rival. No, but it's just like, dude, just go away. Just go away. Just go to the NFL. Don't come back. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for your service. Get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why he would go back to the to college football and just show face, man. Like, no, just go do you, man.
In fact, the craziest thing about this whole situation, and again, I'm gonna throw it around here in a minute, is based off of the article I'm reading currently. His parents are gonna be there as a proxy to kind of celebrate the situation. Instead, according to the article I'm reading, and this is off of ESPN.com, Harbaugh's parents are going to go because Mr. Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, wants to focus on the Chargers season opener, which is not for another 2.5 weeks. So, like, if you're scared, just say you're scared. Like, don't feed me a bunch of nonsense about how you're focusing on the Chargers season opener when you agreed to show up initially and then thought better of it or got advised better of it. Man, Larry, talk to me, my man. This is a bunch of nonsense. It was a bunch of nonsense when it first came out, and it's getting nastier as the story unfolds. Man, how do you feel, my guy?
Man, fuck the NCAA. Bro, I'm being for real, bro. Like, for real. Y'all didn't even get this dude for the assistant coach that was on the sideline. Y'all got this dude for buying some kids some burgers, some food, like COVID, like 5 years ago. Like, NCAA. Somebody in NCAA didn't have some common sense to say, you know what? We might not want to show cause for him buying some kids some food. How does that look on the NCAA? Well, y'all got this dude for buying some kids some food. And now y'all causing all this stuff with him not being able to go, after he won a championship. I mean, it's just like everybody say, man, NCAA is a joke, man. NCAA, I guess because now they can't, have this so-called monopoly on college sports and they can't dictate everything. They finding little petty, stupid shit to mess with people about. And I feel like, man, it's like, we all remember the Alabama McDonald's bags. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even the McDonald's bags. He actually bought these kids something to eat. Like, man, I would be pissed if I was at my job and I'd be like, you know what? Hey, the janitor, he wants this burger. Let me get the janitor this burger. And the job like, you know what? You can't buy that janitor no burger. You fired. What?
Yeah, make that make sense. Make that make sense.
Like, since anybody who's worked in any type of professional job know that it's okay to go to business meetings and buy lunch and stuff like that. So you trying to tell me the NCAA, y'all don't have no rules that say, hey, Jim Harbaugh, it's okay for you to buy these kids some burgers. Don't buy them filet mignon. Buy them some burgers. Like, they kids. Like,
it was hamburgers, dog. Like, good point. It wasn't even like filet mignon, no steak. And it was. Let me stop.
It was like, hey,
it wasn't a Brazilian steakhouse, nothing.
Nothing. They some kids, bro. Think about it, Barry. We coaching some kids and be like, hey, what y'all want to go eat after the game? And then more likely they're gonna be like, hey, let's go get some burgers or something. So I feel like, man, NCAA, man, they'll joke with this stupid stuff. And like, it's sad that this dude can't even go back and be honored for winning a championship over some burgers.
It was burgers and then some type of recruiting violations during the COVID-19 pandemic season.
Yeah, because he wasn't supposed to have contact with them. But I mean, they recruit.
Yeah.
Like, people violate recruiting all the time. Like, even like I say, somebody in NCAA didn't have the common sense to say, when this story come out, it's gonna be about some burgers, and we might want to sweep this under the rug. Crazy.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say about it, bro. It's crazy.
Now, before I go over to Coach Lazar, I understand he's coaching in the Big Ten, and so I want him to be able to get up tomorrow morning and go to work, handle media day and whatnot. So, Coach, if you want to bypass the subject, I understand, but tell me how you feel if you can, sir.
Of course not. So here's the thing: like, the NCAA is low hanging fruit. We all can't stand the NCAA. We all can go at them. The University of Michigan, who will go out of their way to let you know that they're Michigan men and women, and they do things the right way, and we do things the Michigan way, and we're above all that. Until you have things like this happen. But I'm gonna back up here a little bit. Bruce Pearl had a cookout with the kids in Tennessee. A simple little cookout that shouldn't. And then the NCAA came down hard on Bruce Pearl. He had to do like a 4-year, like whatever the thing is called, and then he eventually ended up at Auburn, and he's doing all right now, and whatever. And it's like, look, this is stupid. This is like, again, the NCAA is losing their grip on this sport. Basketball, they're losing their grip on football and basketball and all the other collegiate sports. So again, like you said, Sirius, they have to go out of their way to try to make themselves feel relevant. Like, hey, we still have a little power, guys. We still can do this and do that. But last season, when Jim Harbaugh was doing his bid, so to speak, they made it seem like if Jim Harbaugh had passed away. Coach Moore is crying after games. They wearing free gym T-shirts. The NCAA didn't make them do that. That's Michigan. Michigan decided to like really go all in on this, and it was ridiculous to me. It's like Jim Harbaugh's not dead. Look, guys, he's right over there. He's not dead. He's here. He's still here with us. And like I said, Coach Moore, crying after the game, like, oh, we did this for you, dog. And it's like, Jim Harbaugh was at home watching. He wasn't in ICU. He wasn't, he wasn't, dying. You know what I'm saying? It was just he missed a couple football games. No big deal. But like Michigan, look, they have to think about this. Like, and I'll go even deeper on this. Like, so I'm trying to watch my mouth because I've already been fined a couple times by the Big Ten. So Michigan has to figure out like how to move in the modern day, landscape of football, because Michigan's new to this stuff, so to speak, and so they do things like this, and it's like, look, is the NCAA a joke? Yes, but Michigan, who fancies themselves as better than everybody, you just prove like you're not better than anybody. It's like you I mean, yeah, we talking about getting kids burgers. Okay, that's not the big deal, but it's like Michigan, like Ohio State, the team down south. They sneeze at a player wrong, and it's like, oh, the Buckeyes are cheating. They're doing this and they're doing it. So it's like, it's kind of like, what are we doing here, guys? But my thing is, it's not gonna affect Michigan. And then like the text messages or that are coming out. And I won't even touch on the text messages, Coach Moore. But so you got all that, and it's just like once again, like I'm twisting the knife at Michigan just because I have friends and family who went to Michigan who probably watching and listening to this, so it's like whatever. But I feel like the NCAA feel they're losing their grip on this, and they have to do things like this to show that they still have some sort of power. They still have some sort of like some cachet when it comes to the things that happen in college sports, not just football, but basketball and just all collegiate sports. When really ESPN, NBC, Fox, those are the people who run collegiate sports now. The NCAA, the NCAA, they're just a figurehead. It's like, they are like the king of England. King Charles don't really have any power. He's just the king. Like the parliament and like the prime minister, they're the ones who make the laws and stuff like that of the land and whatever like that. They run the country. The NCAA, they're King Charles when it comes to college athletics, because the 4-letter, 3-letter networks, they're the ones who run this NIL and all this stuff running amok. It's like, so they have to do these things to where when they see a little bitty crevice to where they can stick their nose in it, they do.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly think that, you're hitting the nail on the head with a lot of this. For me, I agree with you 100%. Everybody said this sitting here and, people around the world, the NCAA is a joke. And, I think that, again, Steve hit the nail on the head. Like, they leaned into this us against the world mentality. Clearly not understanding that the only time that Harbaugh wasn't allowed to be with the team is on Saturday on the field. He coached throughout the week. He was in the meetings. He ran the practices. So all Moore had to do was read off a play sheet what happened and make minor adjustments and call timeouts. Now, I will say this. They did come in and beat Penn State. Beat the brakes off of us that game. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't stop Blake Corum to save our lives. But I don't like how this looks. I don't like how this looks for the NCAA. I don't like how this looks for Michigan. It's just a bad day because ultimately, at the end of the day, Jim Harbaugh brought a title back to Ann Arbor. He did that. He should be allowed to celebrate his accomplishments and not send his parents, who are going to have the camera in their face all the time, and they may have to answer questions. And, the moment that the Chargers get done playing the Las Vegas Raiders on August 8th, the first reporter is going to ask them not about what happened in the game, versus the Chargers, versus the Raiders. Going to ask them about what happened at Ann Arbor, or maybe that week leading up to it. So it's a massive distraction all the way around. And to your point, Coach, the NCAA could have got out in front of this and kind of dealt with this, privately swept under the rug or whatever the case may be, especially when you start dealing with hamburgers and you start dealing with, COVID violations. Like, let's keep it a whole bean. Do you honestly think that Michigan is the only school that had contact with players during the COVID seasons or during the COVID restrictions? Heck no. But Michigan's the only team that's really be getting called to task about it right now. And again, I'm a Penn State guy. So Varsha said it on Clearance Day. I'm a Penn State guy. I want all the bad things in the world to happen to Michigan. But we got to keep it a whole bean. It's weird, man. It's weird.
They want to flex their muscle. They want to flex their muscles, serious, and who else to flex it against is the team that was at the top of the polls, right? You wouldn't flex your muscles against, Tulane State or UConn. You know what I mean? Because they don't mean much. But Michigan, you're like, I can get Jim Harbaugh. He's that big dude. He's the coach. He's the head of the class. So, Coach is right. They wanted to show that they still have authority and that they. Like I said, this whole BS 5-year suspension plan type thing. It's garbage. It doesn't mean anything.
He's not there. He's not there.
It's literally like Lethal Weapon 2. Like, you can't even give me a parking ticket. Like, I wipe my ass with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I gonna do with that? I don't need to come back. You know what I mean? So whatever, man. NCAA.
This is Pete Carroll 2.0.
Absolutely.
Essentially, Pete Carroll 2.0.
Give him his Heisman back. Man,
but you know what though, Pete Carroll Pete Carroll is a little bit different because Pete started writing on the wall. Was like, you know what? I've always wanted to go back to the NFL. Y'all be easy. I'm gonna go ahead and go up here to Seattle. Y'all have fun with them Saints and stuff like that. We had a good time, didn't we? I'm gonna be up in Seattle. So like this is a little bit different, but it's like, yeah, Jim Harbaugh. So okay, let's say the Chargers lose every game this season, and then they start out 0-7 next year, and the Chargers like, you know what, this is not gonna work, Jim. Like, you're out of here. So they have to pay him. They have to give him this money. So Jim Harbaugh has this 4-year clause or whatever like that. So then Jim Harbaugh gets to sit on his ass for 2 years, collecting money from the Chargers, and then when the Notre Dame job opens or the Texas job opens or the Auburn jobs open, he can just come right back in and go to Auburn or go to Arizona State. Or
that's what Bruce Pearl did.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's why I brought up Bruce Pearl. He literally gonna just do what Bruce Pearl did. Bruce Pearl did his bid, set his time out, was on TV, and he was actually very good on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like analyzing and stuff like that. And then Harbaugh could do the same thing. He could come, like, flame out in LA. Harbaugh has that personality. He'll be great on TV. He'll fit right in on Big Noon Saturday or game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he'll be great at that.
He'll replace Urban Meyer any day of the week. Get Urban Meyer out of there.
Yeah, he'll do that for 2 years. And in this hypothetical, I'm sure Chargers fans hope that he's there for a lot longer, 2 years. But so let's just in this hypothetical situation, he does that for 2 years, and then the Washington job is open. The Oklahoma State job is open. The Oklahoma job is open. The Tennessee job is open. Like that, yeah. Dabo decides to retire, and the Clemson job's open. And then And then again, it's like teams will know. And I want to just say this, and like I said, get me started on college football. So we can move on. But I just want to make this point. Harbaugh will see, and teams will be like, Harbaugh's little suspension or whatever that is up. Coach, you went 7-5. Have a good one, and then they bring in Harbaugh, pay him $12, $13 million, and then there you go. So.
Yes. Speaking of college football, I wanted to kind of parlay that into the first top 10 that came out. It's kind of interesting to kind of say the least. Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Bama, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Penn State, Michigan, Florida State. Now, we do have a Florida State fan in the building, Penn State, myself. We got a Texas fan in the building.
We got two Florida State fans.
I keep forgetting that Larry is a Florida State. You know what? I hate this dude.
That's why Larry's that dude. I love me.
I hate this dude all the way around. But this is kind of how it looks for right now, man. Like, no games have been played yet. We ain't got to go into this in depth just yet. We will when football season gets here. But are you guys cool with the 10 they selected, or you think somebody else should have been in there based off of how they finished or based on how spring league went? You know what, Larry? I'll let you go, man. You think this is good, or you think somebody needs to get in there that's not there?
I'm pretty good with the list. I probably would do some reorganization. Because we always know Oregon always starts out high, and we know how Oregon always finishes. And, of course, it's always going to be SEC biased. So, we're going to see that the SEC teams get ranked. But, I'm good with it. Like I said, I don't know how you're going to put Michigan ahead of my Florida State and consider they lost so much talent. Other than that, I'm pretty good with it. Even Notre Dame always start out pretty hot, but they always flame out. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's a little SEC bias, though, because I know Ole Miss been doing some really good recruiting, but number 6, I don't know about that one. I don't know. But other than that, I'm good with it. Georgia just keep reloading, so I can see why they number 1.
Yeah. And Ohio State's Ohio State. I hate them to death, but they are who they are. This Texas at 4, Alabama at 5. I think 3 through 10 is a little interesting. I got a Longhorn fan in the building. Talk to me, man. You going to a whole different conference, man. How you feel?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They could be going to the ACC, the Pac-2, like whatever.
The Pac-2.
It's the Pac-2. It's the Pac-2.
It is the Pac-2.
The Mountain West don't matter. It's just like I wish Chandler was here because I would love to yell and scream at him on the show about this as I yelled and screamed at him, in our group chat. But I think the top 4 are correct. Georgia's the best, and again, I'm a guy who I don't think polls. They should even do polls until like late September, early October. That's just me. This is something to talk about. This is something this sets the table for the season, and I feel like these are the best 10 teams in America, in the nation. Georgia and Ohio State are clearly the 2 best teams. And then, like you said, like when we start at 3, that's when things get a little iffy. It's like, look, Texas has already had not 1 but 2 running backs go down. Now Texas is loaded. Texas had some momentum going last year, and then Washington killed all that momentum, last year in the playoff. Mm-hmm. But again, because Texas is Texas, they reload, they restock. Sarkisian has been doing a fantastic job getting out there and recruiting. Oregon now has that unlimited Phil Knight, that Nike money. Phil Knight finally opened up the war chest. So now he said they have unlimited access. So it's like when you got that unlimited, that Nike money, Phil Knight doesn't run a small little mom and pop shoe company. He runs Nike. So Oregon is about to start kind of flexing their muscle a little bit. And I do think they have talent. Again, they're another team going to another conference. The stuff, the cute little West Coast stuff like that flew in the Pac-12.
It ain't gonna fly in the Big Ten, baby.
When they're in Iowa City at Kinnick Stadium in November, boy, I just don't think all that cutesy little stuff is going to. Even though I like Dan Lanning, I like Oregon, I like what they're doing out there. It's just like we're gonna learn about them. Same thing with Texas. Like when Georgia comes into Austin, we're gonna find out a lot about this Longhorn team.
Yeah.
Again, you have Oklahoma, who, like, again, I almost choking on my words saying Oklahoma's not going to be as bad as people think they are going to be. I think Oklahoma, they still have talent. They still have good kids there. It's a little bit of, uneasiness in Norman from I actually have Sooner friends. I know this sounds hard to believe, but I actually have Sooner friends. It's a little uneasiness in Norman with everything that's going on there. But, man, I like Ole Miss. They have a favorable schedule. They are loaded. They had Lane Kiffin is a master recruiter, and he will put together. He can recruit his butt off. He will get talent down to Oxford, but he seems, and I actually agree with Chandler. We're going back and forth on this. He seems to always lose that game that he shouldn't lose. They'll lose the Egg Bowl. Mississippi State is terrible this year. They'll mess around and lose the Egg Bowl. They'll beat LSU. They'll beat LSU. They'll beat LSU by 10 points. They'll lose to Mississippi State by a touchdown. That's just what they do. But I feel like with a 12-team playoff, people are forgetting it is a 12. It's not 4. It's not 6. It is 12. I feel like with a 12-team playoff, your teams like your Penn State. Penn State, I think, is locked and loaded. They just kind of just toe the line. They're locked and loaded in the playoff. I feel like Missouri. Missouri has an easy schedule. They don't play a lot of they don't play any of the new teams. They don't play Oklahoma or Texas this year. I don't think they don't. So Mizzou, they should have an easy path. So it's like in this new landscape of things, you look at that top 10. I would like somebody's bound to fall off. It always happens in college football. It's like Barry and Larry. Y'all knows. Look, got the short end of the stick last year. We all know that. It's like that's a good team down in Tallahassee. They will be good. And I feel like people have ridden them off, and it's like, no, they still got some horses down there.
Yeah, they still got some dogs down there.
That's still a damn good team they got down there. And I actually think they're going to probably win the ACC again. Clemson isn't Clemson of the past. Right. I don't see like North Carolina. They had a spark when they started, but now they just garbage. You know what I'm saying?
My issues, man. I don't trust DJ like that, man.
But you should trust DJ.
But I think he's still the best quarterback in that conference right now.
Exactly, because it's like I've heard a whole heap of noise about NC State all winter, all through the spring. NC State. You talk about got to see it to believe it. We all college football fans here. Boy, I got to see it to believe it with the Wolfpack.
They had their chance last year, Coach.
They
fell flat on their face with a third-string quarterback going against.
because that's what NC State does. This is what they do. You know, they get them all riled up in Raleigh, and then this is what they do. Now, if they break that chain, they're good on them. But it's like, again, I look at that. I look at Penn State. I look at Oregon, Texas. I like Ole Miss. Like I said, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to like leave it be because we got plenty of time to talk about this. I would not be shocked if these 10 teams make the playoff. So then, if these 10 teams make the playoff, you got 2 teams outside of the top 10 who can creep in, and then you got. I mean, Notre Dame is in a weird situation where Notre Dame can be no higher than 5th in the seeding because guess what? Notre Dame be some big boys. Grow up. Stop being stupid and join a damn conference.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Okay. Grow up. Okay. There's plenty of money for everybody. But they like Dave Chappelle. I mean, they're holding on to that NBC money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. It's like Notre Dame join a conference. I'll leave it at that. Grow up.
Yeah, man. I knew this college football talk would get Coach wired up, man. Larry Villain, talk to me, my guy. You kind of, gentlemen, you guys can kind of ping pong back and forth if you like, man. Florida State was ranked 10 on that graphic, but college football be here in a couple weeks before I'm actually working a game on the 31st, you know what I'm saying, with Maryland. So
next week,
talk to me.
Next week, week 0's next week, week 0's next week.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's great. It's
great
here.
Time.
It's here.
Talk to me, gentlemen. Villain, Larry, either one of you guys want to talk Florida State. If you want to bounce stuff off each other, talk to me, man. It's here.
No, I mean, listen, I think Florida State, you know, I think there's some optimism down in Tallahassee, of course. I think Novell coming back, you know, that's going to be huge. I think getting the transfer that, you know, Larry alluded to, DJ from Oregon State is going to be a big lift because I don't think we had a good quarterback in the house, right? In-house that we could replace Jordan Travis, you know, I'm glad to see him on his feet doing some good things. So, you know, shout out to him. But, you know, Notre Dame is interesting. Because if Riley Leonard can come back from that leg injury, you know, he's a pretty solid get for them, right? Another good quarterback that they can pump in there. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. A lot of the teams, you know, Georgia has Beck coming back. You know, Alabama has Milroe, sorry. Quinn Ayers from Texas, Heisman candidate, you know, maybe one of the front runners with Beck and Milroe. So, you know, you got those teams, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, bringing back their quarterbacks. But then you have like Oregon and Ohio State, Florida State, Notre Dame with new quarterbacks that, you know, I don't know what you're going to get out of them. You know, they got the Kansas State transfer, Will Howard, right, with the Buckeyes. And then Dylan Gabriel from Oregon. You know, I'm not for he's at Oregon. He came from Oklahoma.
UCF by way of Oklahoma. That boy
exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So you know, one interesting thing I did see, listen, Alabama, they have the quarterback coming back, but they got a new coach, right? So Kalen DeBoer, so from Washington. So it's going to be interesting to see if this top 10 stays the way it's going to be, if there's just pieces that are moved around, or if teams, you know, with new quarterbacks or new coaches take a step back. But you know what I mean? So listen, I'm just glad there's a playoff system that we can really get behind. 12-team playoff. Everybody's going to complain, no, it should be 16 teams. Then when it's 16, no, it should be 20. No, listen. 12-team playoff. I love it. Get these teams all in a pot, mix it up. Let's see who's the best college football team. I love it. I'm here for it.
Larry, talk to me, my guy. You know, it's Florida State's in the picture. Once again, man, you lost some horses to the NFL, but your man up there thinks you guys may be in the thick of things, man. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, Norvell, he's been recruiting really good. So I think we'll be in the mix. The thing I always say is that when you look at the ranking, these things matter, you know, and this is why you run into these issues where, you know, it's a Florida State and they keep them out over some BS, or it's some team and they say, oh, they API wasn't that high because their strength of schedule wasn't that high. But you ranking, like I said, you ranking these SEC teams real high to start the season. So now even if they lose a game or two, they still, strength of schedule get in. So I think we'll be okay with with this 12 team. I'm a fan of, like those upsets. So put a 12 team league to get a playoff together, and let's see about these upsets, because we know somebody's gonna get upset. It's gonna be some upsets. Versus, I hate it when it was 4 teams, because okay, you got 4 teams. Alabama lost 2 games, but Alabama's going in regardless. Don't care how many games Alabama lose, they're going in. Because, like, be honest with you, Georgia, they had a slip up last year, but Georgia probably would have won it if it was 12 teams last year. Georgia literally has lost 1 game in 3 years?
In 3 years, yeah.
And that wasn't fair that they got knocked out, man. That wasn't fair.
No, it wasn't right. It wasn't right.
Nah, because you know what? It'd be that Alabama bull. Georgia loses a game but don't win the conference championship, they can't go. Alabama lose a game and don't win the conference championship, you go. They kept you could tell, dude.
I wonder. I want to cut you off real quick. I wonder if Alabama's still going to get that juice, even though Nick Saban's not on the sideline now.
I don't know.
Alabama's Alabama.
Bama's still Bama. It don't matter who
but
Saban's
Bama.
But
Saban is still Saban, though. Let's keep it a whole being. Like, Saban covered a lot of sins.
But serious, Bama was Bama before Saban. It's going to be Bama after Saban.
No. Because Bama in the 90s was not that pretty.
No, but I mean, they had a chip in the 90s.
They won a championship in 92.
In 90.
Yeah,
they had a chip. They're
Bama's
not the
real
mega
bad.
power they are now, but Bama's Bama. I mean, let's just be fair. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
So you honestly think that if Bama lost 2,
they've done it. They won a championship and had 2 losses. And didn't
but
win
again,
the championship.
It's because of Saban was on the sideline. Saban's in the booth. Saban's calling the games for Fox Sports or whatever right now.
They would put Bama in the playoffs over teams that was more qualified.
It's brand recognition. We just talked about Notre Dame. Notre Dame is going to always be Notre Dame. They're Notre Dame. Ohio State's going to always be Ohio State. They're Ohio State.
Exactly. How many coaches they run around, man? They still get their street cred. So you know what I mean?
When you have teams like when you have that brand recognition, man, it's like you talk about teams like again. They've fallen off. They're not what they used to be back in the day. We're talking about the 90s, but it's like Miami. Miami still people when Miami was kind of doing well a couple years ago, everybody was excited like, is the U back? Is the U back? Like Miami, you have that brand like Nebraska. People are chomping at the bit for Nebraska to be good again. People are like, not me because I can't stand Nebraska. But there are people, who want like these blue bloods. We talk about stuff like blue bloods to be good. You got look, we all root for blue bloods. Texas, Penn State, Florida State. We all root for, we know how this goes, guys. It's like people see that Longhorn, you know what it is. People see that Seminole head, see that spear, they know what it is. People see that blue and white cat head, I don't want to disrespect you, Nittany Lion. You know what I'm saying?
It's a paw. It's a paw print. It's a paw print.
It's a paw print. Yeah. People see that, and it's like people know what that is. People see Utah's logo and might not know what it is, even though Utah has been consistently one of the best teams in the country as long as Kyle Whittingham has been there. And we're talking about Utah. Utah's a team that, boy, Larry talking about these upsets. Utah gets in the playoff. They could go into College Station or Austin or somewhere and catch a team. They could go into Oxford and catch Ole Miss slipping. So that's why I love this playoff. And I love that the first round of playoff games are at the home stadiums. That's my favorite part of this whole thing. Because that I can't wait for.
That's gonna be fun.
And Utah's number 14 right now, so I mean they can make a move. They're gonna get their wins, and they're gonna get up in that top 10 by the end of the season.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it, man. It's gonna be fun talking college football with you guys all the way through, man. Wanted to pivot really quickly before we really dive into some NFL stuff, man. The Olympics have come and gone. I kind of wanted to give you guys an opportunity to kind of put a bow on it. LeBron James won the MVP for basketball. Again, well-deserved, in my opinion. A lot of people was, throwing a hissy fit, thought it should be Steph. But I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to kind of wax poetic about it, if you will. I mean, again, the LeBron hater is going to be upset, but the man was consistent. If you want to parlay that into, Jason Tatum, if you will, villain, since you wanted to give me an attitude, I'll let you bat lead off, man. Your favorite player won MVP. Talk to me, my guy.
Take that damn picture off, man. Take that damn picture off. Yeah, he was mad because he couldn't bring his, hair club for men kit overseas. He can't put it in your luggage bag.
That beard was gray, boy. That beard.
Gray,
oh my god, that John was silly gray.
But you can't bring it on the plane, man. You gotta check that at the baggage claim. So that gray was a lot of salt, and that's pepper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he looked like Dick Gregory out there, man. Like I'm telling you,
exactly. I mean, I was telling my brother. My brother was watching the gold medal game with me. I was like, he's got the same stuff that Clyde Frazier has. Because Clyde Frazier ain't never had a gray hair in his life. He damn near 80 and never had a gray hair. But listen, consistency, yes, obviously from start to finish, LeBron deserves that MVP. But the guy that bailed him out in those two games, in my opinion, should get the goal, the MVP, and that's Steph Curry. He went nuclear against Serbia and then went absolutely God mode in the fourth quarter and bailed them out against a really good, not bailed them out, but a really good France team. Really put them away, put them to sleep, right? Everything. So even my wife, we were all watching it, and she was going crazy. It was just fun to watch. It is great because he always, for some reason, he didn't get a chance to get on that Olympic team. He had the foot injury or something goes wrong. He can't get into the gold or get on that team. And honestly, to see him have his Olympic moment was pretty cool. The women, they survived. Almost blew it.
Almost blew that.
Almost blew it. But you know what's funny to me, though? I mean, listen, respect to them. The women's U.S. team runs basketball around the world, no question about it. But did you see the crowds at their games? I didn't see the crowds very much at their games. Just thinking that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark might have put a couple more butts in the seats a little bit there, but I don't want to go there.
You trying me, man.
I want to poke the bear. Listen, that 400, that relay, god damn, that was fun to watch. The women, like Thomas, just went ape and just took off, boom, right down there, and like that last leg, like it looked like she was. It looked like I couldn't describe it. Like she was just in another mode. She was in another gear, and everybody was just trying to catch up. Like it was insane. Like it was fun to watch those relays. Track and field always puts on a great show. The whole Olympics was pretty well done. You had your little snafu in the opening ceremonies with whatever they wanted to call it. But there's the homie Thomas, unbelievable. Obviously we all enjoyed the volleyball. I mean, it's such a great sport. I mean, national treasure. Please preserve that. Shout out to Uncle Chandler. Please preserve that sport at all costs. It's funny how he could talk about Monica McNutt, then we pause. I mean, but listen, it's a great sport. Listen, the Olympics is so much fun. My son and my daughter were like, "Daddy, is the Olympics on?" I was like, "No, it's over." They had to close. No, why is it over? As a kid, I just remember being that age, and every 4 years, it's just this great event that that you just see and you don't see very often. But you got to watch sports. I was on like table tennis. I was like, this is so, you know what I mean? Like this is just sports that you don't get to watch all the time that you can enjoy. So it's a great job, and shout out to King James.
Oh
wow.
Yes.
Wow.
No, I'm just playing. I'll play.
Wow. Okay.
I'll play. Wow. The villain's gotta hate.
Honestly, gentlemen, I loved every second of the Olympics. We consider ourselves sports junkies. We watch it, we study it, we ingest it in our veins. Um, all year round. It's just not a football thing during the fall. We love sports, so watching these athletes compete at a very high level for 2.5 weeks or so was definitely entertaining, man. From watching the gymnastics team again. Pause. Jordan Child, yo, I feel bad for.
That's a robbery, highway robbery.
I feel bad for her.
Dude, that
And everything that's
sucks, bro. That's like being convicted of a crime and they got the evidence to show that you didn't do it, but you still convicted.
Yeah. Like you call it Andy Dufresne, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So Varsha mentioned something pretty interesting in the chat talking about the U.S. swim team. The guys falling off.
Well, no, one of the guys won, right? One of the dudes on the swim team.
One of the guys did win. I think he won gold. But primarily, there was the
1500. He killed it. The 1500, he killed it.
The 400 relay, which we predominantly ran for so many years, we lost that as a U.S. The women once again went nuclear on that event. You know, Katie Ledecky is freaking insane. I loved watching the volleyball with all of you guys, man. Table tennis, I was locked in a little on that. Me and my son several times was sitting around, running around watching the polo, the water polo, man. And again, shout out to our women's soccer team for getting that dub and the manner in which they got the dub. Gone are the days of Amy Weinbach and Rapinoe and these ladies that have Hope Solo who have pioneered the sport for so long on an international level. I just thought it was highly ironic that in a semifinal game that the one goal that we scored was scored by Dennis Rodman's daughter.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's just funny watching that whole song and dance unfold. So shout out to them. Obviously, the basketball lived up to expectation. Both games were very, very highly competitive. I was in the middle of church. Shout out to pastor who wasn't there on Sundays, but I was in the middle of church watching that gold medal women's game because it was just high intensity basketball. So I loved every second of that. We turn our attention to 2028. We got some sports being added now. I think there's flag football being added, some other sports being added, man. Before we get off of the Olympics and move on,
I gotta say one thing though.
Talk to me.
For 2028, if they have any brain cells in their head, please take the breakdancing off.
It's gone.
I do not need to see breakdancing in LA with oh my God. I can't.
I mean, it was a one and done thing, and they do this at Olympics. They like in London, I believe they had like the BMX stuff. It was just at one time. I think they do like these one-off like things for like different Olympics and stuff like that. But I want to get in here real quick and just say something real quick about the Olympics. First off, if I was Jordan Childs, come get it. I'm not giving you anything. I earned this bronze medal. I'm not gonna give it to you. Come get it. I'm not bringing you anything. The basketball, man, big ups to Gabby Williams. Gabby Williams, she put it all out there. And then again, we talk about commitment and we talk about like buying in. And it's like these women sacrificed half of their WNBA season, some of these women, to go home and to build that chemistry and build that trust in each other, only for the team who had been together for a couple of weeks. But anyway, and we talked about roster construction, we talked about this and that, and then the men still win gold. And you mentioned the relays, the U.S. men's 4x100 relay. I don't know what's going on with that. Carl Lewis was yelling and screaming, like all caps, and it's like Carl, like. Olympic legend. We love Carl. H-Town in the building. We love Carl. You know, it might be up to you to save the relay. You might need to get your hands dirty, Carl. You might need to get in there and do. It's like, you know, you've been talking, you've been yelling, you've been screaming. Michael Johnson was mentioning some stuff. It's like, Mike, Carl, y'all are two of our greatest Olympians ever, two of our best sprinters ever. Like Carl Lewis, if you made a list of 5 best Olympians, Carl Lewis is on that list.
He's on the list.
He's on that list. You know, and I feel like
don't have him sing the national anthem, but
we can't do that. We don't want him singing. We want him to, like, it's like
we want him running.
We want him running. We want him running. We want him on the, you know, doing a long jump. That's what we want you to do, Carl. And I feel like going into LA, this is a chance for USA Track to kind of reconfigure some things, get some things together, because it's like, it's one thing to get embarrassed in London. It's one thing to get embarrassed in Rio. Y'all better not embarrass us at home. We got to defend home. And like the Canadians, who ran a hell of a race.
Oh, they ran.
The
give them credit.
The Canadians ran a hell of a race. And then the Italian team, which is like, man, all of a sudden, like, Italian sprinting is a thing. I don't want to accuse nobody of cheating or nothing like that, you know, but I mean, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, Italian sprinting is a thing. You know, so, you know, there's just kind of weird to me. But I do want to say something as we look forward to LA. You talk about breaking. I'm glad breaking's gone, because like Ray Gunn, she discredited that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? With that, you know, it's like, anyway, you know, like I love hip hop. We all love hip hop here. It's like B-boy culture is a part of hip hop, and it really made me upset to see that happen, to see her make a mockery of this beautiful art form that we all love, you know. But man, boxing is not going to be in LA, they say, you know, which is ridiculous to me. This we might have seen the last Olympic boxing for a while, because right now it's not on the 2028 program. And again, we tease Larry a lot about boxing and stuff like that, but it's like, it's boxing. It's Olympic boxing. So many of the greats of boxing history first put on, you know, their gloves for the US of A. You know,
nah, man, get rid of it.
Ali and Roy Jones.
It's
Jr.
hard to watch.
Nah, they gotta put it on hold. They gotta put it on hold, Steve, because boxing.
But I know it's hard to watch, and like I like I said, we make fun. I did watch some of it, and it's like, boy, I tell you, this is not great. But it's like LA. We all know LA, which has such a deep history with boxing. It's like give if you want to put boxing out the pasture, fine. But like at least give boxing one more chance in LA, in a city that has such a deep connection and boxing culture in that city. I think if you want to do away with it after LA, fine. But I think I hope the IOC reconsiders and puts boxing on the program. Or if you're gonna take boxing off, put baseball back on, man. Like
yeah,
I used to love
one of the things where
they got softball on though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, baseball. I remember watching Olympic baseball.
They do the World Classic joint every year.
Because every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
They have to do that because they took baseball out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why they did. The World Baseball Classic only exists. Well, I don't say only, but one of the big reasons it exists is because they took Olympic baseball off the program. I remember being 13 years old in Atlanta and seeing some Cuban dude hit one damn near out of Fulton County Stadium. It's one of my lasting memories in sports. It's like some Cuban guy who knows, he might have went back to Havana and like worked at like a grocery store, but he almost hit one damn near out of Fulton County Stadium. You know, Olympic baseball again, like, and I guess. And then I won't keep going on, but it's like you see it with the WBC. There, people will watch Olympic baseball. People weren't, because also that day in Fulton County Stadium there were about 18 other people there. You know, but with the World Baseball Classic being so popular, I feel like now is the time for them to bring baseball back to the Olympics.
Larry, talk to me, man. You've been trying to get in here for a minute.
Oh, I mean, you know, I do think they need to bring baseball back because baseball is a global game. I mean, you know, there's some kids in third world country playing with sticks and rocks. I mean, I'm just saying they need to bring it back. But Steve, the boxing part of it, I think that they just took it out because people are just getting so tired of the corruption. IOC boxing is so corrupt. It's so corrupt. Do y'all know that Roy Jones didn't even win a gold medal?
We know that. Yeah, that was a big thing.
That was
Like,
highway robbery.
Floyd Mayweather beat the brakes off of that dude and did not win a gold medal. They literally have to come back 5 years later and be like, oh, yeah, that person was robbed. Oh, these judges were paid off. Oh, these judges, they were favoring the hometown boxers. It's so corrupt. It's a mockery. I mean, that's the only way I could say it. It's like, we know that boxing is notorious for being corrupt. We know that professional boxing is corrupt. Right. But Olympic boxing is hella corrupt. That's how he want to say it.
Yeah, the IOC, they engage in nasty work in all ways, shapes, and form. So the IOC is real nasty with this.
Yeah,
but it's even nastier with boxing, and it's like people getting tired of seeing that. People getting tired of seeing somebody getting robbed because the judges scored one way. People getting tired of like you said, this Cuban 35-year-old man beating up a 16-year-old. Because they let their professional boxers come. These Russians that got 500 amateur fights and they 32 years old, and they fighting against some 16-year-old beating them up. Like people getting tired of that, and that's why they
they need to get rid of the boxing. I mean,
I think they need to do a revamp. They need to do a revamp before they bring it back. Put some age requirements in there. Put some stipulations on some stuff. Put in, a mixture of, refs, not refs, but with judges. Put in a mixture of, they tried to go to this, digital scoring.
Yeah.
But put in, like you can't be a judge and you officiate a hometown fighter fight. Like put some things in there like that. Like they don't do it. Like, so it just gets to the point where it's just like, why everybody else is like, why should we send our fighters? Why should we send our fighters? But, I will say this, Aaron, LeBron got mashed on. I don't care what you say. You got mashed on, man.
You play enough basketball.
But you need to put that picture up.
He got mashed on.
He was trying to take the charge. He was trying to take the charge.
Stop it. To this day, everybody thinks John Starks dunked on Michael Jordan. That's
Horace Grant.
He dunked on Horace. He dunked on Horace.
Exactly. So I mean, if people still want to say he dunked on Jordan, then we have to be honest. LeBron got dunked on.
He got dunked on. He got dunked on.
Is this your king? Is this your king?
And that's what I loved about it, because they were willing to attack him. When you watch the NBA games, they ain't like they scared of him.
Scared
of him like that.
Petrified. They let him walk to the hole. They don't do anything. They knock him on his ass. Like they let him. They don't do anything.
I will say this, and like I said, the thing that kind of irked me, and I'm not hating on the U.S. We all foregone that the U.S. was gonna win, but Serbia almost upset the card, bro. And like I said, when it comes to Olympics, man, you got to be a real, you got to look at it with like a second lens or something, because every time Serbia kept pushing that lead up to 17, 18, I don't know, them calls start getting real suspect. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. When it was up 1, Curry, that was an offensive foul. That was an offensive foul. Curry leaned into that dude and shouldered him. But like I said, the Serbia almost upset it. French, the France team, they played their heart out. Like I said, they played out. They just didn't have enough. They didn't have enough to compete with the US. And yeah, dude, say what you want to say, man. He was leaning back after he was getting mashed on. He was there.
He was trying to take a charge. I mean,
he was getting
trying to take a charge. It looks like he's trying to defend his life right there. Like he was trying
to take a charge. He was trying to take a charge. I will say this though, to your point, they weren't scared of him at all.
No,
they weren't.
Serbia wasn't either. Serbia wasn't scared of them. Serbia was beating them up.
Why should they be? Like why should these guys, we talked about this with the Dream Team back in '92. It's like these guys were taking pictures. Like they play with these guys.
Yeah,
there's no need to be scared. There's no need to be afraid of them.
If anything, it's all spread out now, right? Because I think the international game as a whole is probably better than the U.S. But you got Serbia with one player, you got France with a couple players, you got Canada with a couple. If you put all those teams together in a world versus U.S., the U.S. get their ass whooped. Let's be honest. But
man, look, I like FIBA rules. I wish the NBA.
No, that's exactly what I was about to say.
I think that's
bring those rules to the United States because I love the physical play. People getting their ass knocked on, like, and no
play some type of defense, and everybody not playing 6 feet off their guy, and they can shoot wide open threes. Like, dude, stop it. Play some.
I was gonna say that. I was like, I think we all. Guys, I think I like FIBA rules. Boy, I think the NBA and
it's
Silver,
90s basketball.
Silver is always talking about global game and like Adam Silver and the NBA, decision makers. They should look at the FIBA rules and bring. Now you can't bring everything, but I would like for them to bring a little bit more of the FIBA rules to the NBA. And I love FIBA rules. Like it's a brand of basketball that I like. Of course, the Knicks UConn fan. Would like that. It's like, look. I ain't gonna lie. Look, Syracuse versus UConn, 39-41, like a rugby match disguised as a football game. I used to love that shit, man. I used to love it. You know what I'm saying?
But Coach, here's what the thing is. Like, US always has trouble adjusting to the FIBA rules, right? The simplest thing that we know, but like in your mind, you just can't get your head around because you're not used to it. You only do it once every 4 years. Is like knocking the ball off the rim, right? Like a couple of times, you saw. Hang on, but like a couple of times you saw you saw either Gobert or you saw Wemby knock the ball off the rim, like Wemby had a putback dunk when the ball was clearly in the cylinder. That's legal. That's fair game in FIBA rules. And like you could see, like I think it was Anthony Davis, right? LG, like there was a rebound and he had to wait for it to hit off the rim. Then he went and jumped. Like, no, go get that right off the rim. It's FIBA rules. Like, get the ball. You know what I mean? Like, so like I love that. I love that part of the game.
Dude, so what's the other guy? Not Dwayne Wade, but the other guy that was calling the U.S. games.
I forget.
I forget his name.
He hit it on the head. He said nobody boxes out in the NBA. That's fundamentals 101. Nobody boxes out in the NBA because they just wait on the shot to come off the rim, or they hitting the shot and they just throwing the ball out. He said nobody boxes out in the NBA no more. But you know what I blame this on? We soft. Man, we soft, and that's why I feel like the world is catching up with us too. These kids, they don't grow up playing at the park, like y'all from New York, they don't grow up playing at the Rucker and playing on that blacktop where you're gonna be scraped up and stuff. They grow up playing in these AAU leagues and these travel ball leagues. They grow up playing in that stuff. They not growing up where it was no blood, no foul. They not doing that. So of course, and then they get to the NBA and then they like, hey, this is the same thing I've been doing my whole life, and now you got to go play by FIBA rules, and it's like, this is foreign to me. But I'm gonna just say that I like the FIBA rules better because it actually allows guys to play defense. Now, can they tweak it and stuff like that, for the NBA? Because you could just tell, like, even we don't really like him, but Luka was only averaging like 12 points or something in FIBA, 13 points. And he was like, yeah, it's easy as hell to score over here.
He said it's easy, man.
It's easy.
Of course it is, because they don't play no defense. If they play defense like his behind, then you can score 40 every night.
Yeah, I mean, he don't play no defense, but guys was playing defense on him. So, like I said, you come over here and it's like, okay, now he can, score more points. But
well, you guys are the basketball guys. Do you like the lanes being bigger in FIBA rules too?
I do.
Yeah, I do. Yes.
Yeah,
gives the bigs more room to work. It's like bring back low post play.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I love about like FIBA. It's like we grew up in the Elijah One, Ewan, Robinson, like when big men rule, like bring back post play. Yeah, love it.
Big men are becoming like the NFL's running backs. It's like, yeah, we need you, but we don't really.
I gotta find another one like you.
Yeah, you're not really part of that.
Do you shoot threes? What's your 3-point percentage looking like? I know you're 6'10", 250, but can you hit a three?
Hey, Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
All right. Don't need to bring.
Yeah, the tide turned when his behind was on the bench, though.
Right.
But y'all know the coolest thing about the Olympics.
What up?
Dude, Quincy Miller, bro. Dude, how cool is that to go back to school and be like, man, I gotta go.
That dude, 16 years old.
Y'all wearing Cuban links, man. I got an Olympic gold. How many of y'all watched this?
What you do this summer? You went swimming? You went to the beach? Oh, that's nice. I went to fucking Paris.
Yeah.
I got a picture. I got a picture of LeBron James on the boat as he's the flag bearer, man.
Dude,
Come on,
think about
And how crazy is it? Noah Lyles, man, had that bronze after getting COVID or what have you, man.
How many Noah Lyles to shut up? How many Noah Lyles who shut all the way up?
I mean, they just
keep talking.
How many him to shut all the way up?
He will never stop talking. That's just
I know he's from Alexandria. They talk out here. He needs to shut the hell up.
Man, sometimes you gotta just let people talk.
Golly, this whole thing with him and Anthony Edwards is out of control. Now you got people chirping at him. Are they the world champs now? Tyreek Hill talking about how he's out of pocket, how he wants to race him, based off of the Kay Adams show that he was on. Like,
stop it. Y'all wait. So y'all know the thing about Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is NFL fast, not Olympic fast.
I want to see him race.
I would like to see him race though.
He ran a race. Tyreek Hill ran a race. He came in like dead last. He's not Olympic fast.
He didn't run against Noah Lyles. He ran against you.
But he's ran some races. He's fast, but he's not Olympic fast. Like his best time is still like 30 seconds less than Noah Lyles.
I need to see it. I need to make it happen. When he recovers from COVID, I need him to go out to Miami. I need him to make that happen.
Tyreek Hill is gonna get dusted.
And here's the thing: if he gets cooked, then Tyreek Hill can't say nothing. He can't say he's you can't call him the cheater no more. You gotta call him the leopard or something like that. You can't call him the cheater no more.
I mean, but that's like even like Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy is fast and he's ran, but Xavier Worthy not Olympic fast.
Yeah. He's a track guy though.
Yeah, he's a track guy, but he's not
a track guy, but he's not like
he's not Olympic fast.
But I mean, and speaking of like track and stuff like that, man, Quincy Hall, that guy, he died. He shut down. His body shut down on the turn of that 400, and then in that last 100 meters, he just found a way.
What the hell was that? I never seen that. Not never.
Flailing his arms, bobbing his head, no form, no nothing, but was passing dudes and won the gold. That might have been one of the most spectacular things I've ever seen at Olympics. That was insane. He had no business winning that race, and he
right.
That didn't be drug tested
immediately. With that being said, man, before Villain gets out of here, he has some business to tend to. I wanted to kind of check you guys' panic meter a little bit on some NFL holdouts and some things of that nature. Starting with the one I just come about today, Ja'Marr Chase has not reported to camp. He's been there, but he's sitting out wanting a new contract. He has 2 years left on his deal. We can throw this around the room quick, fast, and in a hurry if you want. I know CD's gonna come up here in a minute. But Ja'Marr Chase not in camp. Are we panicking, or that think he's gonna get this done? Is he gonna show up? Steve, talk to me, man. Where you at on Ja'Marr Chase right now?
So my feeling on Ja'Marr Chase is that he's well within his right to want to get paid, to be paid like what he is, a top 5 NFL receiver. But he also needs to know who his boss is. His boss is one of the worst owners in sports, not just in the NFL, in sports. Mm-hmm. They just now got like a quote unquote NFL locker room. They had just like they just got like a actual real like quote unquote like NFL locker room. There were high school teams in Texas who had better locker rooms and facilities than the Bengals do. Like we keeping it a buck, as we like to say here on the show. But he'll be paid. It's just Brown likes to drag his feet, and he'll do it because again, it might take Joe Burrow being like, look, Mr. Brown, I need somebody to throw to. Mm-hmm. Pay him. Pay him what he wants. He is one of the best at what he does. Pay him what he wants. And I just want to say this. The Bengals are in a weird kind of like, this is a weird season for the Bengals. And they need everybody in-house and everybody on the same mind and same accord, because it's like the rest of the division, like there's no weeks off in the AFC North. And they can't have this inner turmoil and succeed. And again, health is a big thing with Burrow, and they go about as far as, Nan goes. He's healthy, then the Bengals got a shot to beat anybody. But they also need Chase out there too. And he should be paid. And that's just what it is. It's like I stand with Jamar with this one.
Yeah, I personally it doesn't shock me that again, once again, go play the lottery, Savarsha. I mean, we never agree on anything, man. We go get that woman a lotto ticket, coach. But anywho, I agree with Jamar Chase. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. What's going on right now with the wide receiver position across the whole landscape of the NFL? These guys want their bread. And if you don't pay them now, as opposed to what's going on with Ayuk and what's going on with CD and some other receivers, he still has 2 years left on his deal. He doesn't hit free agency until 2026. So I can kind of see where he's like, yo, pay me. You know what I'm saying? This is going to get messy. I'm not sure what he's asking for. But you also got T. Higgins, who's also pissed off because he didn't get his deal done. They franchise tagged him. And so you got some pissed off wide receivers in Cincinnati. And again, as a Steelers fan, I'm all for it. Let me throw this around real quick, man. Larry, talk to me. Jamar Chase wants a new deal, not participating. Where'd your head out with it?
Man, I think he should just come and play, bro. I mean, I hate to say it like that because he still got 2 more years on his deal, but the price keep going up. And I'm not saying, don't, convey your, disgrace to the, ownership, but because they're gonna pay him regardless. They just saw the renderings. They about to build like a $2 billion stadium. Like they trying to do some stuff. So I mean, I get it. They're gonna need weapons. They're gonna need to put butts in the seat. But if I was Jamar Chase, you know what? I would sit back and I would be, play friendly, come to camp. I would hold in maybe, stuff like that so we could negotiate some stuff. But I would wait. I would wait till the CD deal is done. I would wait till the Ayuk deal is done. I would wait until all these other deals are done because Jamar Chase, dude, are we playing around? Jamar Chase is like neck and neck with, Justin Jefferson and a lot of other dudes in the league.
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He the truth, bro. So if I was him, I would play the long game versus the short game. And I guess, these dudes, they want their money right now, but I would play the long game, especially playing wide receiver. Man, these dudes, they get like fluke injuries. They don't get hurt like that. Wide receiver, you could play till you like 35 now. But if I was him, if I was in this position, I would play the long game with them and wait till contracts come in.
I feel you. Next up, wonderful. So somebody put a microphone in front of Jerry Jones. And he asked,
Villain want to get in on Chase.
Oh, Villain, go ahead. Villain, talk to me, Villain. Go ahead, Villain. You know what?
Yo, listen.
I respect you to understand wide receivers. I mean, you a Giants fan, but go on, talk to me, man.
Oh, his receiver is hurt already.
All right, go on, talk to me.
Wow. So you chose violence tonight. Okay. All right. So let me talk. I get what you're saying, LG, and I agree with you that if he waits, he'll get a bigger deal.
Mm-hmm.
But if he waits and gets hurt, he ain't gonna get a deal. So I think here's the deal. He doesn't have 2 years left on his deal per se. They gave him his 5th-year option that upgrades him from $1 million to $21 million, right? That's what I read, right? So he's going to get bank next year. He just wants that bank now. And it's like Brown is cheap. He doesn't pay people other than the quarterback, which he miraculously paid. But he said, I'm not giving you a deal right now. I'll give you a deal at the end of the season. So it's like, he already told you you're not getting a deal. So what are you gonna do? Not play?
Work out the framework. So y'all talk behind the scenes and work out the framework.
Mike Brown ain't doing that.
The cap going up. I
Mike
get
don't
Mike
care.
Brown,
Mike,
He don't
Mike
care. He don't care
Brown
about
don't
that.
give a damn. He don't pay you.
but
He
he's gonna
don't
have to pay
you.
Jamar Chase.
He's gonna have to pay Jamar Chase.
He's
He's gonna have to pay Jamar Chase
Next year.
especially
Paying him now, but
especially
he's
if
not
you
going to
paid
pay him
9.
now.
You paid 9. You got to again.
No,
I will say this to your point. To your point, I don't expect them to get a deal done this year.
Mhm.
But keep in mind, you just tagged Higgins. Okay, they are as good together as opposed to apart. So, like, here's the thing: you have a two-headed monster right now, and keep in mind, you just lost Joe Mixon. That Bengals offense ain't gonna be humming and clicking like it once was back when they went to the Super Bowl. So you gotta lock this dude up now before that price is gonna go up. Like, let's keep it a bean. CD's gonna get paid from somewhere. If it's not Dallas, he's gonna get paid from somewhere. Ayuk's gonna get paid from somewhere. If it's not San Fran or Pittsburgh, it's gonna be somewhere. There's other receivers that are gonna get paid. Amon-Ra St. Brown's deal got done this past year. Insane. Tyreek Hill's deal got done this past year. Insane. Justin Jefferson's deal got done this year. Insane. And these are people that are on Jamar Chase's level. These aren't wide receiver 2s and 3s. These are all wide receiver 1s that are about to get stupid paid. So excuse me, that got paid. So he's looking at the price for business amongst the people that play his position that put up the same type of product. He's like, yo, where's my cup of the pie?
I mean, I get you, and I feel you on that. Like, if I was Mike Brown, I would go against protocol and pay him now instead of having to pay him later. But Mike Brown and de facto Jerry Jones are a different breed. Like, they don't pay. They don't like to pay until the last minute. So it's in their best interest to pay now, but they're not smart enough to do that. And Chase, like, don't try to play hardball. He's not going to do it. So just get out on the field, show and prove, and then your value is going to go away. Everybody knows he's top 3 easily in the league, easily. But one thing, like,
go ahead. I'll let you go.
No, it's just like I'm not waiting for a Brandon Ayuk deal to get done. I'm worth way more than him. I think Brandon Ayuk and the 49ers have overvalued Brandon Ayuk. I'm sorry, the fourth best player on that offense. I don't understand where he thinks he's going to get a 5-year, like a top 5 deal. I don't understand. That's just me. If I'm Jamar Chase, I'm not waiting for that guy to get a deal. If anything, I'm saying Justin Jefferson got this. I want $1 million more than that. Thank you. That's it.
I will say
we want to wait for the CD deal to be done too. You know, the last man get the biggest contract.
But you know, CD's going to get paid because is too stupid to pay him when he could get the lower value. He's going to wait until CeeDee Lamb is not playing in week 3, and he's going to overpay him by $5 million a year. That's what Jerry Jones does.
That's when the Bengals going to overpay me by $10 million a year.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm looking at it like this. It's very easy for us sitting here to say, go out there, play nice, you know what I'm saying, bet on yourself and get that bread. But we've all seen what happens when you don't get that money. And so right now, when, again, you see your colleagues that play the same position break the bank, Jamar Chase, by all of us sitting here, puts, think Jamar Chase is a top-notch guy.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, again, he reaches unrestricted free agency in 2026. Right now, if he doesn't sign another dime, he gets a guaranteed salary of $4 million. He's outplayed that by leaps and bounds. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, give this man his money.
NFL contracts aren't baseball contracts and NBA contracts.
I mean, so Rocky said that. I mean, I got that. I mean, it makes sense, but at the end of the day, you look at it like this. If you look at the last wide receivers deal that just got done, Amon-Ra St. Brown, his deal is so insanely sick. Like, he's getting paid, and I'm looking at it right now. He's getting paid. Yeah. It's so I'm looking at it right now. He's taken care of through 2028 at 15.5 mil. That's his base through 2028.
How much is that? How much of his contract is guaranteed, serious?
I'm looking at it right now. Fully guaranteed, $34.6 million guaranteed via over the cap.
I mean, and for Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's good. If I'm Ja'Marr Chase, I need way more than that, baby. You know,
if you're the Lions, that's a discount.
Mm-hmm.
That's a discount because this guy is consistent. I mean, he played the whole season basically with a torn oblique, torn off the damn bone, and still put up numbers. Like that guy is worth every penny and more for the Lions.
I mean, no objection here. But I mean, this is the template that Ja'Marr Chase is working off of. This is a template. What did the Philadelphia Eagles give Devontae Smith a couple months ago?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I mean, Devontae Smith isn't on Ja'Marr Chase level.
No.
Brown, right? Who else got paid off? I mean, who's the last receivers that got paid off? I mean,
I think Amon-Ra was the last one.
I mean,
like the last 5 receivers that
go back and it's like Tyreek got broke off pretty substantially by the Dolphins. Let's see. AJ Brown got a pretty good.
AJ Brown got broke off. Stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Brown got broke off. I mean, he got a lot of guarantees. If I can recall,
his guarantee is 51 mil.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, it's climbing and it's climbing. And this year, I think this was like probably the first season, maybe last year, but like the first season where you saw a really ridiculous, like Jefferson's the benchmark, and you'd never seen a receiver command $30 million a year.
He reset the market. He totally reset the market.
Yeah, there's resetting the market, and then there's Jefferson. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Coach? Like nobody ever saw that coming, and he deserved every penny of it. So if I'm Chase, it's hard to play that long game because the market is set.
His contract value is $140 million at 88.7 guaranteed.
I mean, DJ Morgan's got 82.6.
82.6.
So yeah, let's do it like that. DJ Moore just got 82.6, and most of that is kind of on the front end or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if I'm Ja'Marr Chase, I'm like, okay, DJ Moore gets 82.6. I mean, I need at least $1. You know what I'm saying? At least
easily,
at least.
Guys, in LG, I'd love to get your opinion too. What deal would you, if you're Chase, what kind of years and what kind of money and what kind of guarantee are you looking for?
I would give him the same money Justin Jefferson got. I mean, because we know that that's the benchmark, and everybody's saying that he's on that level with top 3 receiver. And if you're gonna give him that money, think about it. You're actually saving money. That's the problem with Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Pay people early, so then that way you saving money, because we know that wide receiver is going to keep going up. Wide receiver is damn near getting like quarterback money.
Oh yeah.
So I'm thinking it's 5 years, $155 million at least.
Yeah, give him.
Yeah, something in that neighborhood. I mean, I think that's what Chase and CD are probably going to command. In that neighborhood. And I mean, these guarantees are going to be over $100 million for sure.
Easily.
I would think he gets 110, 120 guaranteed.
Now, the problem that I think we all forget, because we know how much they want to pay these receivers and pay people. This time of the year, people have already put aside their budgets for this year, put aside budgets for next year. And now, because you are going to pay, a Ja'Marr Chase or somebody like that, now these GMs, they're going to have to make some tough decisions. And, next year's cap ain't even out yet. So they're going to have to make some tough decisions. And I think that's what, when you see these holdouts, it's like, yeah, you go and you hold out, but you got to be realistic about holding out too.
Yeah.
Your value,
the cap went up this year a little bit, right, LG?
It did go up a little bit. But
your value go up a little bit more.
Next year is going to be stupid. I'm looking at it now. Like, let's say, for all intents and purposes, we're talking about the Bengals trying to do something for next year. They're gonna have $35 million and some change, and cap space to kind of mess around with. Like, why not do something I mean, you could backload it. I mean, if you go back to 2020, 2026, they may have a little bit more money. 2026 in 2 years, when his contract is actually up, barring everything going down, they're going to have $158 million in cap space.
But
But that's money you got to pay him. You got to put some of that aside for him.
Correct.
That's why if you're Mike
do it now. Do it now.
But if you do it now, then you eat your cap space for next year.
Mm-hmm.
You eat into that.
So backload it. You can backload the deal.
No, you front load it. You give them all these signing
bonus. No, you want to front load the deal.
Because you don't want to kick the can down the road, because then that goes against that's dead money. And you don't
want the cap number to be as low as possible.
Right, and you don't want the dead money. You don't want the dead cap hit. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, listen, it's a rich man's problem, not mine. Like we kind of went in the CD, man. So I'll just go ahead and keep that train rolling. Jerry Jones got in front of a microphone, and when Jerry Jones gets in front of a microphone, funny stuff
happens. Magic
happens. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
CD, you're missed, but you're not out here competing, and it doesn't put any pressure on us to do anything. What the actual F?
He didn't take his happy pills. Like, honestly. Everything's fine. There's nothing to say. All is well. All is well. Like, like taking it back to Animal House. Yeah. Like, it's like the place is on fire and you're not paying attention. Like, Micah Parsons came out and said, CD will have a deal done before the season starts. Like, okay, I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. CD is going to get $160 million. That's a
look. Michael's saying that because he want his deal done. He like, man, look, Mr. Jones, hurry up and get CD deal done so we can get mine done.
Yeah,
so
right. Yeah, let me hold something.
Yeah,
because honestly, I don't know how the Cowboys don't have a running back, and the receiver room is pretty bare. And you're messing around with your the more time that goes by with this deal not getting done, the more disrespected CD Lamb should feel.
And he should.
Exactly. And you're messing around with that by not paying him. I mean, Dak Prescott's over it. He's like, what it is, man. Whatever's going to be is going to be. Like, at this point, he knows the game. He knows Jerry Jones don't play. He don't know how to play right. I mean, just I can't. If I'm CeeDee Lamb, I'm holding out, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna double down on this, and I'm gonna make you love me. You're gonna pay me.
Yeah, and Steve, talk to me, my guy. I'm saying Jerry Jones got in front of a mic and magic took place, as you alluded to, man.
Yeah,
talk to me about how you feel about this situation.
Look, Jerry Jones is most people would love to have an owner like Jerry Jones when it comes to trying to do everything they can do to win and doing like this. But it's like Jerry Jones has always been the guy because he played football in college and also like he thinks that he uses his football mind too much when it comes to this. Because he's like, oh well, we'll just get some other guys and we'll Mike will coach him up and then we'll do. It's like, no, and this is why the Cowboys can't have nice things. You have a legit top five. Somebody even say we're talking about receivers. Some people might say Chase, Jefferson, and then Lamb. In whatever order you want to put him in. We're talking about a guy who is the best of the best. He is the cream of the crop. Whatever saying you want to use to describe how good he is. And Jerry Jones is sitting up in here playing in this man's face. And Jerry Jones is trying to be all like, well, nobody's bigger than the team. It's like, pay him. It's like, pay him what he's worth. It's like, but then this is the guy who looked Emmitt Smith, one of the greatest running backs of all time, and was like, oh, well, you're not bigger than the team. Emmitt Smith missed them a couple games. They're like, Emmitt, please come back.
My man's in Mexico chilling. They went and got him.
Yeah, my bad, Emmitt, come back, please. And then he played. He did it with Tony Romo. He played around Tony Romo until finally he had to pay Tony Romo. It's like this is what Jerry Jones does. It's like, and then now he's trying to. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. He realizes how stupid it was for him to pay Dak in the manner in which he paid him. So because he got burned by that, now CeeDee Lamb and Michael Parsons and all these guys and Lawrence, all these guys are paying for his. Like Jerry's like, who did this? Who paid Dak this money? It's like, you did, Mr. Jones. You and Steven sat up in there and tried to outsmart the game, and y'all look dumb. So to keep them from looking even more dumb, now they're gonna play hardball with two of your, hopefully for the Cowboys fans, two guys who can be cornerstones for your future in Lamb and Parsons. It's like, again, because it was your fault. It's not CeeDee Lamb's fault. It's not Michael Parsons' fault. It's not anybody's. It's not Tony Pollard's fault that you mismanaged the Dak situation. Because I hate to keep bringing them up, but all of this, the reason why this is happening with CeeDee Lamb is because of what you did with Dak. And Dak don't care because them checks ain't gonna bounce. That ain't Dak problem. But it's like Jerry Jones, who wants to always be the smartest person, and he can't stand being outsmarted or being made to look like he's not the smartest person. He handled this whole situation incorrectly. And then for him to say that, to be like, oh, well, it's about the star on the side of the helmet. And, no. With CD, like Jimmy Johnson, his former coach, he was like, I treat Alvin Harper and Michael Irvin and Troy and Emmett different than the rest of the guys. You're damn right I do. Because they deserve it. Because those are my guys. And he is negotiating with CeeDee Lamb in public. And I that's one thing I cannot stand, when people will negotiate in the press, negotiate in public. It's like, Jerry, nobody's on your side, dog. Nobody's going to take the billionaire's side in this, dog. Like, nobody's going to take your side. And for him to negotiate in public like this is just, I don't know. I just think it's dirty pool. And you're treating CeeDee Lamb like he's some like slot receiver who's like run back punts and he's a gunner on on kickoff, stuff like that. Pay that man his money.
Pay that man his money. Larry, your favorite receiver of all time, man. Talk to me, my guy. Jerry decided he wanted to open his mouth and start writing checks instead of putting his pen to paper. Talk to me.
Man, Jerry, man, you have an old guy. You don't never go ask an old guy questions because, they liable to say some shit. So, like, don't never go ask no old guy, like, hey, what do you think about CeeDee Lamb? Oh, he's not a priority right now. Like, dude, this is like, somebody should have told Jerry Jones, like, this is social media age. That's going to get back to him. Like, don't put a mic in front of his face because he's liable to say some crazy shit. Mm-hmm. But, it's one of the things where, I love it because Dak is one holding them hostage. They can't do anything until they resolve the Dak issue. And Dak was like, oh, it's not about the money. It is about the money. When Jerry Jones,
about the money.
Jerry Jones could have been paying him like $40 million. They would have been all fine and dandy. But it's one of those things where it's the price of drafting good players. And most smart GMs, they get ahead of these good players and negotiate early. Like I said, even with Jamar Chase, even though he haven't signed, they could have negotiated and be like, okay, Jamar agreed to terms on a restructured deal, and you can negotiate. And you keep that stuff private, it's the Cowboys. That's how they do stuff. It's real sloppy, real messy. It's like watching the Housewives of Cowboys land. They got.
I can't look away. I can't look away, man. It's like a car crash. You can you don't want to see the mess, but you can't look away from it. Yeah,
it's like watching Love and Hip Hop of the Cowboys land or something. It's like. They always got some foolishness, some drama, somebody, I don't know, somebody's not agreeing.
All fake drama, too.
Yeah, it's always something. That's what hey, look, I'm not mad at Jerry because they was valued the highest franchise at like 10-point-something billion. So why are you haggling with dudes over a couple of $100 million when your franchise is worth $10 billion? Like, but that's the type of Jerry stuff he do. He like to be in the headlines. He like P. Diddy, he all in the video, all in the,
all in the video.
Jerry, if it ain't about Jerry, everything else is irrelevant. That's to be honest with you, that was the thing with him and Jimmy Johnson, because he felt like Jimmy Johnson got too much credit, but he's the coach. All you do is sign the checks. How many times have we seen owners sign checks and don't win championships?
Man, this, Larry. He has a weekly hit on the Dallas sports radio. What other owners go on radio in their city every week and have like a segment on a sports talk show? He's the only owner in the NFL that do it.
Yeah, because it got to be about Jerry, and if Jerry not getting no limelight, then it's not about Jerry, and he's not going to be happy with it, and that's why they're going to keep being the Cowboys. So I'm good with it. Like I said, I want to see the fallout because they literally don't have no cap. They better be calling the Bensons in New Orleans and say, how can we finagle these books?
Teach him how to watch that money.
Yeah. How can we cook these books over here?
Yeah.
Hey, you better call them cartel members and be like, how do we wash money over here? Because they don't have no cap space. I don't even think they got enough for next year. So somebody's gonna have to go, and that's what I'm wondering who's gonna go.
Well, next year they're at 63.6 million, but again, you gotta.
That's not counting in that money.
That's not. Yeah, so they gonna be stuck in. I mean, again, looking at
Dak said he wants 63.
Yeah, I'm gonna say if it's 63 left, Dak be like, you know what? I'll give y'all hometown discount. I'll take 57.
57 and a half.
Nah, he'll take 59 and a half.
No, if the cap space is 63, I'll give you a discount. I only take 62 of that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got guys like Brandon Cooks and to Cavante Turpin and you know what I'm saying, Jalen Brooks or whatever, trying to catch passes from Dak Prescott going into the year. Because again, CeeDee Lamb ain't showing up until they get right, man. So
and then you know what's gonna happen? As soon as CD show up, Michael's gonna be like, you know what, my third torso is bothering me. So
that's what I just said. It's like that's why Michael's like, yeah, man, Mr. Jones, please pay CD so I can get paid.
Yeah,
that's why he all like retweeting and all like, because Michael got something. He got fucking Brewers fucking state.
I love it, man. I love it, man. I love it, man. Before we let Villain out the building, Hassan Reddick, man. Now, again, I wish Chandler was here for this. But
man,
we got
where you at, baby?
We got some more movement in the Hassan Reddick thing. Now he's asking to be traded. Aaron Rodgers came out today and was like, "Yo, I want him to be a Jet forever," and blah blah blah. Man, this story is messy as messy gets. We touched on it last week on the podcast. We talked about it in the group thread. How does this get resolved, man? Like the Jets has come out and issued a statement, pretty much stating that, for lack of a better phrase, F you. We're not moving you. So either come in and play ball or we won't find you. This is getting as messy as it gets, man. Steve, talk to me, my guy.
I mean, like, I'm gonna keep this short because I know we got to try. It's the witching hour for all of us. So I'm gonna keep trying to keep this short. Like, Hassan Reddick has done this twice. This is his second time doing this.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like the Jets bring him on, seeing how he left his previous place, and you bring him in and you thought it was gonna be all sunshine and lollipops, and it's like, and then here he is doing it again, and he looks bad. The Jets look bad. Everybody looks bad. There's nobody to root for in this situation. And it's like I said, it's getting messy by the second. Like I was scrolling on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, and I saw that statement from the Jets, and I was like, they can't be serious. But it's like, you know what? It's the New York football. It's the New York football Jets.
It's the Jets.
And it's the Jets. And when Hassan Reddick is in, I don't know, Jacksonville or Houston or wherever he ends up next, whatever like that, it's like, maybe that next team will be like, okay, Hassan, let's get you signed up before we trade for you.
Yeah. Villain, talk to me, my guy. Right in your backyard, man. This is crazy, man. How you feel?
If my dad was here, he'd just be rolling his eyes like, same old Jets. Like, how do you trade for a dude that doesn't want to be there? And you don't have anything prepared? Like, you didn't do any kind of homework? I mean, like, oh, my God. Like, only the Jets. And I wish Uncle Chandler was here because it would be a profanity-laced tirade for the next 5 minutes going hard on the Jets. And I said it a couple weeks ago, and it's just same old Jets. It's just irresponsible front office by Joe Douglas trading for a guy that clearly doesn't want to be there. And then you got Aaron Rodgers coming out and saying, well, I hope he's here. Aaron Rodgers is talking, the guy that regrets talking about he was immunized or whatever. I mean, miss me with that, man. Like, it's a dysfunctional organization. It's a joke. Hassan Reddick deserves to be there. Like, they deserve each other. It's a match made in heaven. You got a disaster in Hassan Reddick, and you got a disaster in Joe Douglas and the New York Jets. It won't get resolved anytime soon. I'm here for it. I love to watch the train crash. Let me see it. Let's go.
He's that like to watch a train crash.
When you're a jet all the way. You're a jet until your dying day.
Yeah.
Oh, good God. Larry, talk to me, man. Hassan Reddick not in camp. Jets ownership has issued a statement pretty much saying, F you, we're not gonna trade you, so get in here or we're gonna fine you. It's messy, man. Talk to me.
It's the Jets. I mean, that statement, accident waiting to happen, it applies to more teams than the Cowboys. It is. I mean, how ironic was that? Like, Aaron Rodgers get hurt like 20 seconds into the first game.
Only the Jets.
Yeah, only the Jets. It's like, man, some teams are just not meant to be good teams. Some teams are just meant to be in the league and collecting checks. And you show up to the game because the Giants ain't playing, and it's like, what? It's buy one get one free for Jets tickets. You bring your own helmet, you can run some routes.
He said buy one get one.
You bring your own shoes and laced up, man. But we'll let you play. But I mean, and the sad part about the Jets, they're just like the Cowboys. They have talent on that team, like a lot of good talent, but they're gonna mess it up. And Hassan Reddick is just the first. Breece Hall ain't started crying about his money. Garrett Wilson ain't started fussing about his money.
He should.
Yeah. I mean, these dudes are gonna start rumbling about their money too, because they put in some good seasons. Sauce gonna be like, yeah, where is my money at? If y'all gonna pay everybody else, but it's just that statement applies to a bunch of teams, and the Jets still happen to be one of them. But with Hassan Reddick, the whole Hassan Reddick thing was, do y'all remember Sean Gilbert?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell would you trade for Sean Gilbert and not have a contract in place? Why would you trade for Hassan Reddick and not have a contract in place? Sean Gilbert was notorious for, I'm sitting out, rework my deal. Nope, I got a year left, rework my deal. And I'm like, man, like, come on now. Like, yeah, it's some guys you just know we traded for them, had a deal in place, because they gonna sit out and they gonna, put in all these trade demands and all this other stuff. It's just it's sad to where, like I say, just like with the Cowboys, you seeing all this stuff in the media. Like, man, what happened to like keeping this stuff internal? What team puts out a statement, we're not trading them?
The Jets. The New York Football Jets.
Yeah. Because check this out, Larry. Like, remember Hard Knocks with the Giants, right? Before the Giants made the trade for Brian Burns, what did they do?
They already worked out the
deal. They said, what is it going to take to get him?
Yeah.
5 years. And then it was like, can we do it at this? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Get it done. They got the deal done before the trade was finalized.
Well, see, here's the funny thing. Like, I
don't sense. Even the Giants knew that.
I don't want to be. I don't want to hit this on the head, but that's what's holding up the Ayuk deal.
Yeah, I told you that. I told you that, man.
But serious, it's holding up the deal. The deal's not done until the contract's agreed to. Why do the Jets do?
Wait, let me take you back.
The Jets just want a jet.
Because
math isn't math.
Because the Jets were like, well, we're gonna get him in the building, and he's gonna soak up that Jet culture, and play like a Jet and do this. And it's like,
hey,
we got my money, dog. I don't care about all that.
Throw back to the '80s. He's gonna love it here. Like, yeah, that's gonna sign him. Like, come on.
It's two ways that I've always seen this work out. You trade for the player, you sign the deal. He's already signed the extension, or you trade for the guy and say, look, you're a rental after the season. We won't tag you. You'll be a free agent. You can go, get your money. They didn't do none of that.
They did none of that.
None of that. Because guys have been traded and they know, hey, look, we traded for a guy. We didn't give up hardly nothing. We gave up some low round picks for him because we know he's going to be a free agent in another year. That happened with the Eagles. The Eagles with what's the guy? The safety. He went to the Lions, and now they got him back. Gardner Johnson. Yeah, Gardner Johnson. Yeah. They traded for him, knowing that he was going to hit free agency. They gave up a low round pick for him. He hit free agency. He went to the Lions. Now he's back. But
he ended up back.
But you trade for a guy knowing either he's going to sign a long-term deal or he's going to be a rental. You don't trade for him and say, "Oh, we could work out something later." No, and that's the problem. Hassan Reddick is in a good position. We all know the two positions that get paid in the league, well, now including the receiver, is quarterback and guy who can sack quarterback.
Protect quarterback, or protect
and guy who protects quarterback, and guy who sacks quarterback, left tackles.
Left tackle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy to see how this whole thing shakes out.
I'm glad Aaron finally admitted that.
What?
That's what's holding up the IU deal.
Yeah, I told you I was holding up the IU deal.
He's not.
But the 49ers still want. The 49ers are still trying to negotiate for him to stay. You know,
he ain't trying to stay there, bro.
Well,
we know that. We know that. Mm-hmm. We know that.
He upped it to 28, but but then that's like I said. I think it's more with our youth thing. He wants to stay, but he wants to get his money because
I don't think he wants to stay. I don't think he wants to stay because
but we worked out the trade. The trade was agreed to go to the Steelers. He has not negotiated he has not agreed to a contract with the Steelers, and that's what's holding up the trade.
Yeah, he doesn't want to stay in San. He doesn't stay in San Fran either because whatever you guys got on the table with him, he never signed that. He didn't sign a deal with San Fran. So both of us have a deal on the table for Brandon Ayuk. Both of us do. San Francisco has a deal in place for him to stay. He said no to that. Pittsburgh has a deal on the table for him to come here. He said San Fran, and he said no to that. So it's honestly about where we meet in the middle. I am firmly committed to the fact that I don't think he's playing in San Fran. And I think if a 49er fan can convince me of otherwise, I need you to sell me lottery tickets because I don't think he's playing in San Fran.
I'm gonna tell you, you know when you talk to your kids and you be like, "Hey, what do you want?" And they be like, "I don't know." And you be like, "Well, you want this?" They be like, "I don't know." "Well, you want this?" "I don't know." "Well, do you want this?" "I don't know." The Browns deal was agreed to. He wouldn't sign with the Browns. The Patriots deal. The Patriots deal was signed to. He don't want to play there.
It's not that he doesn't know what he wants. He knows what he wants. He didn't want to play in Cleveland. He didn't want to play in New England. He wants to play in Pittsburgh, it seems like.
But the trade is we agreed to the trade with Pittsburgh.
But what I'm hearing, though, is all things being equal, he wants to stay in San Francisco, and they're not far apart on their deal. That's
they're
what
not.
I just heard today.
Like, dude, like Aaron, you can look it up. We actually agreed to the trade with y'all. He nixed the deal because he hasn't signed the contract. He don't want to negotiate. He literally has not negotiated with nobody other than the 49ers. So what does that tell you? It's like, dude, the holdup is you. The trade was agreed to. You don't want to go here. You don't want to go there. But then the team that you say you want to go to, you're not willing to negotiate with them. And that's holding up the deal. So what do you do at that point?
He doesn't want to go.
Yeah, just make up your mind and we'll work out a deal.
I mean, I'll put it to you like this. Like, I'm not going to use the language my granddad used, but I'm a fan in Jetson. Either boo-boo or get off the pot.
And that's what it comes down to him.
Either boo-boo or get off the pot. Like,
but he's a top 5 receiver in the league, and you're like, dude, you're not.
At this point, I think the fan base in Pittsburgh is like, you know what, F it. I think at this point the fan base in San Fran is like, F it. Where 2.5, 3 weeks away from the season starting, you got to get in. If you're coming to a new situation, learn the playbook, learn this, that, and the third, buy your jersey off, Van Jefferson, or you got to go back to the place that you pretty much tried to set a blaze on your way out and make nice.
Dude, but then the crazy part about it, they upped the deal to 28. 28 for Brandon Ayuk. And I don't care what y'all say, Brandon Ayuk is a better receiver than George Pickens. But 28.
We ain't getting rid of Pickens. You know that.
But I'm just saying, 28. He's a damn good receiver. Brandon Ayuk can ball, but 28. I feel like that's a fair deal for the position that you play and the team that you play on. And I even go even further with that. we all know, like I said, I think that, you know, when it's all said and done, I think that he's gonna come back. It's gonna be a deal that they can work out. I think what's really kind of holding them up is Trent. You know, once they work out some Trent stuff and be like, you know, Trent, we'll pay you $1 million this year, next year, and we'll, you know, pay you $2 million to you 48 or something like that. We're gonna restructure that, and I think that's when the Ayuk deal is gonna fall into play. But yeah, dude, like I said, he's hold up every deal. We've agreed to 3 trades, and he's hold up every deal.
At this point, either boo boo or get off the pot.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like,
I'm done with it. I'm just like, man,
yeah,
dude,
yeah. I mean,
make it be a
at this point, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. With that being said, I'm gonna let you guys get out of here a little bit earlier than normal for the sake of Barry. You know what, Coach, man? Thanks for coming by, kicking with us, man. Give us a plug and a close out to shut it down, my man.
All right, y'all already know what it is. It's like, you know, another successful boardroom meeting. The execs getting after it like only the execs can get after it. Like we said at the top of the show, we'll say it at the end of the show. You see the link, share the link. You see the post, you know, share the post. Facebook, X, YouTube, Instagram. We're doing our thing all over social media. So just make sure, like, keep this thing moving, keep it growing. We put the work in, and we just excited to y'all decided to spend another Tuesday night with us. So as always, God is good
all the time.
Water is life. Make sure y'all drink y'all water. And of course, Wu-Tang is for the children. See y'all next week.
Yes, sir, man. Thanks so much, Coach, for coming by, kicking it with us, man. It's such a privilege and a pleasure to share a space with that guy again, man. Larry, man, you hung in there with us, man. Didn't throw up on screen, man. I appreciate it, man. Give us a plug in the close out, man. Go drink some water, man. Go hydrate. Do something.
Yeah, man, I'm about to go hydrate in a minute, man. You know, I've been feeling under the weather all day today. That's why I ain't been in the group chat that much, but I sucked it up. I said I was gonna pull an Aaron tonight. You know, Aaron, a couple of weeks ago, Aaron, he sucked it up and got on with us, but it's always a pleasure, man. You know, I'm like Steve say, man, if you see it, share it. If you own any platform, you know, we out there. We out there on everything. And I'm under the weather, so I'm gonna just keep it short, and I'm gonna just say, you know, peace, and y'all boys have fun. Get ready for this fantasy football. I'm about to bust some heads open.
I don't know about all that, man. Yeah. Thank you so much, Larry, man, for coming by, kicking on this, man. I hope he feels better soon. Villain, I got you out of here before 11, my guy, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I want to go. I got to go cuddle up with my star, my wife, my love.
Oh yeah, shout out to Miss Jordan, man. Shout out to
Miss Jordan. Listen, thank you for having us on the show. Always a pleasure doing the show with you. Shout out to Black Zach, aka Coach LG. Shout out to the homie. Hope you feel better. Shout out to Chandler. Get your behind back in here. We definitely love talking with you. And everything. Listen, we got a lot of things cooking. I will most likely be doing a show with New York Giants fangirl Adriana Arafola probably next week, probably next Wednesday. So we're working out the details on that. So look out for that. We're doing big things there, previewing the Giants season. Listen, finally can talk some Giants without some biased haters in the building talking about Daniel Jones and his contract. I can talk sensibly about my Giants, but we're gonna do big things, man. Shout out to her. Listen, share the link, listen to the show. I'm sure that everybody loved that wrestling show, so we got a lot more popping off there. It's gonna be fun, man. Acknowledge me.
Yo, throw the ones up, man. Thank you so much, Philip, for coming by and kicking it with us, man. Again, it's almost been 15 years knowing that guy, man. So it was a pleasure doing a show with him, man. It's your boy Sirius repping that 412 and the 703, man. It's such a privilege and a pleasure to be able to do this with you guys every week. Be on the lookout for some upcoming content coming out. I just finished recording my reaction to the Pittsburgh Steelers preseason game versus the Houston Texans. So that's going to be edited and it's probably going to come out in the next couple of days or so. So be on the lookout for that. We got a wrestling show that's popping off with my friends over at the Nonsense Deep South podcast. Looking forward to partnering with them, doing a couple shows with them. Fantasy football is here. As my man Steve alluded to early on tonight, college week 0 is here. We got a lot of stuff going on. And before we blink, boom, basketball will be back, man. October baseball, fall ball is right around the corner, man. I think we didn't get to talk much baseball. As a matter of fact, we didn't talk at all baseball. But we got some stuff brewing for that. Again, man, thank you so much for rocking with us, man. With that being said, God bless. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.